Hey guys, it's Troy here, and thank you, number one, for watching this video. And number two, wanted to let you know that there is a candidate forum that's going to be online here soon. The Triangle East Chamber of Commerce is putting it on, and candidates were sent a questionnaire of 5 different questions, and they wanted us to record video responses to it in order to put it online for an online forum. So, in case some of you may miss that, I wanted to be able to share with you the answers that I did for that forum right here. So I'll give you the question, and then I'll share with you the answer that I recorded and uploaded for them. Hey there. I'm Troy LaPlante, and I'm sitting right here in my home office where I have worked and have made a living right here in Selma for the past 2 decades or so, ever since I moved here. Now, and I've been a North Carolina resident for about 33 years. I've been a Johnston County resident for 24 years, and I've been in Selma for about 19 years now. My background includes a degree in fire protection and service in that field for about 9 years or so. I've also been in radio broadcasting, including work right here in Selma at WBZB, back when Selma actually had a local radio station. And for the past 27 years, I've been working for one of the largest cable companies in America. I'm an engineer in their advertising department. Company policy is that I can't mention the company name. Now, locally, I've served twice on Selma's planning board, on the Johnston County Local Emergency Planning Committee as well. Now, I have and I'm raising 3 sons right here in this community, and I chose to live here when I was looking for a permanent home. That means I have an interest in how much this town regulates me, my neighbors, and the opportunities available to my family and fellow citizens, and how the town deals with its growth. I tend to be a no-nonsense individual. I'm rather conservative about the active role of government in people's lives. I believe that in an environment where liberty thrives, it's also an environment where business and property owners can also thrive. I've always been easy to reach, willing to listen, and to discuss the issues. Growing up, I've always been the type that was involved in local youth government programs like that from the YMCA and Elks Club programs, as well as Boys State. And, I've done work for federal, state, and town governments. I've come to realize that local municipal government is the most impactful on your daily life. From water service to the parks that your children play in, the roads that you drive on, the property taxes that you pay, your local trash pickup, the color that you can paint your house, and your basic quality of life decisions can all be made at the local municipal level. I wanted to run for office to serve my fellow citizens, to balance civic responsibility with personal freedom. Government should protect your property rights, yet at the same time encourage you to be responsible with those same rights. I wanted to make sure that our local government is accountable to the citizens that pay the bills, that it exercises its functions efficiently, and does not trample upon our rights and freedoms as citizens. I've seen some misaligned priorities here in previous town council activity. I wanted to bring the scope and function of our local government back into its proper perspective and to help set priorities for the direction that we head. I wanted to encourage growth while at the same time not saddling our property owners with an undue burden of taxes and regulations. That's exactly what I was talking about in answer to the previous question. The town of Selma has missed out on accommodating development because of insufficient water and sewer infrastructure to support that growth. We have sewer lines that are over a century old and needed upgrading decades ago, and yet we've neglected that as a priority. We've not kept up with documenting our water and sewer systems, so we have to pay for studies to map out what we should have been keeping up with for decades now. For years, we've kicked the can down the road, so to speak, and we've not tackled the situation head on. Everyone wants to expand the tax base, but we've not prepared to meet the responsibilities that are legal obligations to the town for incorporating more territory into our corporate limits, or to meet the needs of businesses and housing developments that want to locate here. Instead, we put our priorities into what I call nice projects, like civic centers, community swimming pools, and tennis courts. I'm not saying we should never have such things in town at all. What I'm saying is that our priorities need to be charted and followed. We have public safety equipment that needs upgrading and repair, but we instead went headlong, mind you, into cooperating with unnecessary road expansion by the state where none was needed at all. We took far too long to sell off some vacant town properties and need to visit the idea of selling off more surplus property and focusing on a set agenda and priority items in working those priorities. In my fire service career, I've been involved with a lot of interagency and departmental cooperation, both within and without a jurisdiction. For the past 27 years, I've worked as a troubleshooter to identify and fix problems on a daily basis involving departments and groups across the whole country. This is not something that's foreign to me. Now, sure, we need to cooperate with other communities and levels of government, and need to do so in order to secure our goals for improved infrastructure, especially water and sewer. However, I also firmly believe that we need to focus on what's best for the town of Selma, not what is best for other communities. I recall years ago when we had a huge debate about a company that wanted to develop an ethanol plant nearby within the town planning jurisdiction. I was on the planning board during that whole debacle. People from our next town over attempted to force their desires upon our town when it was an issue for our town and our jurisdiction to decide, not them. I was disturbed by the lack of leadership in our town council members for allowing people who are not residents of the town or even our extraterritorial jurisdiction to control the narrative on how we exercised our town's jurisdictional authority. Having done code enforcement for a living at one time in my life, I realized some regulations are in place for safety of life and property, while others are superfluous and are merely in place to exercise control. I've owned a few small businesses over the years and looked at regulations in place which, quite honestly, discouraged expansion and investment. That's why, while on the planning board and looking at our Unified Development Ordinance, I have sought to eliminate excessive regulations and promote liberty for business owners and homeowners alike. All right, I've covered some of these already, but the biggest thing is to set appropriate priorities for our town to focus upon. That includes maintaining public services, but also public safety. I've talked to people in our police and fire departments, as well as planning, parks and recreation, and other departments, as well as local citizens, as well as business owners. I'll continue to seek out their concerns and needs. I know that we have some deficiencies in public safety in terms of retaining staff, maintaining equipment, and providing services. Public safety must be a high priority and is, quite frankly, the primary purpose of government. We need to maintain necessary services for all citizens, while at the same time need to be mindful of the burden that is being placed upon those who actually pay the bills for the cost of government. Here in Selma, only 30% of our residents actually own their homes. That means that a lot of property taxpayers are either from outside of Selma or they own multiple properties. We need to bring in more homeowners to be actively involved in the community and have an interest in how much the town actually taxes them to live here. We need to create or maintain a business-friendly environment to encourage companies to want to locate here and become part of the Selma community.